It seems like World War III already started.
Like we're reading chapter 1 of World War III in the
history
but we
book.
don't know
that we're in it. Oh, it's so scary, bro. Because like
we're gonna see AI influencers, like straight celebrity AI people. There was an AI model. They were going to delete it off of the computer, and the AI model duplicated itself into a hard drive to continue to survive.
These aren't things that you talk about with people.
I was up for 2 more hours, just waiting. There's another thing, but I don't know if we could talk about that. The and Iran stuff is, fuck, we're getting deep quick in this podcast.
For this pod, we got the homie Saqeb. He's who I have made all of my short films with. Super talented director. Big things coming in the future. We got SteezyKane in the building.
What up? What up?
Legendary YouTuber.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, first of all, for hosting me and the hospitality. It's been great. I've never stayed at a place where the host offers me towels. So I brought my own towel here. I brought my own towel in my suitcase. And I was just like shocked. I was like, damn, I've never had complimentary towels when I stayed at someone's place. So
I couldn't believe that every time you traveled, you needed a towel. Like it came in handy every single time.
Yeah.
I always just expect towels when I go somewhere. I don't know. It's like one of those things of having an apartment. You should just have extra towels.
Yeah, that's what I think, but, you know.
Not everyone's on board with that.
Yeah, not everyone's
on that wavelength, clearly.
Yeah.
I didn't get a towel.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't get a towel?
No.
What do you mean?
I didn't get no towel.
There's towels in the bathroom.
I'm kidding. I'm busting your balls. How's your week been here in New York, Steezy? I'm just curious, like, how you feel?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I mean, I love this city a lot. I want to move here. And, every time I come here, it's like crazy adventures happen every time. Like, this whole week has been just insane. I mean,
yeah,
it's like, you know, one day you're at a riot, and then the next day, like, you're
with the mayor,
in a Rolls Royce going to meet the mayor. I know that sounds so weird out of context. I've just been helping Sneeko stream just for the audience to know. But it's just like the city has so much to offer even on a Monday night. And I don't know, man. It's
a vibe. I feel like
it's just never boring here. It's never
boring. Yes. We're all kind of like doing our own thing of the day, and then like, you know, we meet up at Sneeko's or something, and then, you know, watch a movie or this thing happens. It's like, hey, you guys want to watch a movie tonight? Like, Sneeko's calling us. Then he's like with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, no, we have a funny friend group. We have a really funny friend group. I was just saying this morning how, like, normally other friend groups, their problems are, like, their boy saw their ex at the bar last night or got too drunk. And we woke up to Sneeko on the front page of the New York Times getting called an anti-Semite. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird chaos.
Yeah,
weird chaos in this.
And he lives right in the heart of it. Like, every single one of them in New York City thinks that he hates them. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Like, even the other day, there was an Israeli government party in his building. That was very weird.
Yeah, what was going on there? Like, what did you see?
We don't know, but I mean, it was just like...
Like, how many people?
It was a lot. I mean, it was hundreds.
Yeah.
Because the venue's so... It's huge. It's a ballroom.
That was the day before the attack, too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The day before Israel bombed Iran.
Huh. Yeah. It's weird times right now. It's weird times. Like, the Israel and Iran stuff is... Fuck, we're getting deep quick in this podcast. It's so scary, bro. Because, like, I think it seems like World War III already started. Yeah. Like, just 3 days ago it started.
Like, we're reading chapter 1 of World War III in the history
but we
book.
don't know that we're in it yet.
Yeah.
You know? And it's weird. I was just telling you all this yesterday, but, like, the news is gigantic, of course, but in the real world, it seems like nobody's really talking about it. Or it seems like it's not really relevant in the real world in a weird way, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that just has to do with people's like. I don't think everyone's ignorant, but they're just like, you know, people are just so involved in their daily life until it really affects them. There's no reason to like for them, you know. Everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, this is so sad or tragic, but you know, it's just easy to just focus on your own thing. That's what I think. How do you feel that affects like your mindset about like your career and stuff? Do you think it affects like you keeping doing your thing, or you know, do you think like fuck, like this is just like pointless?
I'm starting to like lose the excitement about art because I feel like art is about to become way less important in the next coming years. You know, if there's a full-on war, I mean, it feels a bit ignorant to be like focusing on art.
Obviously, that and like we've been talking about AI.
Yeah.
The fact that why would you spend millions of dollars to shoot something and build this whole set and blow shit up when you could just spend $250 and generate it with AI? Give it a million goes, tweak it, you can get an even better result than what you would have done if you filmed it. Because at the end of the day, too, it only really matters about what the consumers want. They just want to be fed whatever looks good. They don't care if it's real or not at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Like the mass consumers just want something to be entertaining.
Yeah, I think being in the future, looking back on today, looking back in the past of how people used to shoot movies for $50 million, in the future that's going to sound ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ancient.
Like people were spending that much on just movies. In the year 2070, people are going to look back like, damn, people were kind of spending money on dumb shit. Like you could just generate that off a computer.
Yeah, the same way we look back at old film where they had to cut it. They had to cut film literally and move it around.
Kinda in that way, but like just an extreme version of it. Like people looking back at James Cameron rebuilding almost the full Titanic boat just for the movie. People are going to look back at that like, I can't believe people had to do that. People had to actually build the boat for the movie. But in 2070, it's just going to be a normal thing for people to just film 2% of the movie and just like generate the rest with AI, or just film like the essentials. Not even green screen stuff. Like people won't need green screens anymore. People won't even need to learn accents for their acting roles. They're like, oh,
they can just talk completely normal.
just act in your normal voice. We'll just add in the dialect in post. Yeah. Like there's so many things that to make a movie you only need to make the skeleton now in the future, and you could just do all the flesh through the computer. Like it's not gonna be fun anymore.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that works out because, like, you know, to build a boat or something for the set or to act in a certain type of role, you know, with an accent or something, you kind of have to live in it. So it has an aura to it in a film, you know? I'm curious to see, like, imagine, like, you know how Oppenheimer, they did the whole thing in film? And that's, like, the cool thing about it. It's like, oh, we did it in film. Like, you think, like, some years from now, it'd be like, oh, yeah, we did this all on camera. Like, you know, is that going to be, like, the cool thing? 20 years from now, 30 years from now? Like, we didn't use AI.
I mean, I think 20 years from now, it would definitely come back as a trend.
Yeah.
Just like the way that film comes back as a trend, or right now, digicams are coming back. VHS is kind of the new film right now. But it's only a phase, and it only comes back just because people want to be cool and different. But it's going to be too inconvenient.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's not really the right comparison, to be honest, calling it like VHS and those older cameras, because it's still easy to film with those. It just looks different quality. I feel like a better comparison would be saying like typewriters are becoming popular again.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're not. They're not because they're a pain. Nobody wants to crank the thing. Yeah. You want to be able to go hit backspace and have your ChatGPT plug in. It's
on a typewriter. Can you backspace?
I don't think so.
No, bro. You hit type.
That's
a piece of ink hits the paper.
That's crazy that people use type like that.
Yeah, on God.
I know.
Like one mistake and you gotta start all over on that page. Like that's insane. And look, that's how people are gonna be talking in 2070.
No, but that's
damn. People really had to go to the location to shoot the movie. People really had to go outside.
You know what else I think is a crazy thing? Is we're gonna see AI influencers.
Yeah, there's like already a ton of those.
Celebrity AI people.
Yeah, there's already a ton of those.
It's probably going to be like AI artists, and like you go to the concert and it's like an AI, right? What? Like, it's got to happen at some point, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you guys know about VTubers?
Yeah.
There's like virtual streamers, like AI streamers. and like that's.
You ever heard of the AI OnlyFans Down syndrome girls?
Oh yeah.
You a big fan?
No.
What is that?
It's these OnlyFans girls are they're AIing or
Stuff for the
deep faking Down syndrome on their face to attract more subscribers. Yeah.
We're cooked,
It's
bro.
like who said
Yeah.
Downies weren't baddies? So like,
And last night we heard some guy on the street at 3 a.m. listening to AI TikToks.
oh, that was crazy.
That was
Right
fun.
outside my apartment, some black guy had like this big boom box, and he was bumping one of those classic AI voice scripts of just like the most like, what even is that AI voice? That's just like the normal default one, right?
Yeah. It might be like 11 Labs or something.
Yeah, it was literally like the 11 Labs main voice. Just watching some like random facts TikTok. I was
But-
like, wow, I can't believe I hit these.
But I've been
generation.
trying to like learn all these AI tools. I've been trying to like teach myself how to be more progressive in the arts,
Yeah.
because this filmmaker ego I have of like everything needs to be 24 frames per second, horizontal. Everything needs to be like how they did it in the 90s. Like we need to keep cinema that way. Like that's going to hold me back. So now I'm trying to like learn all these AI tools, because you need to move with the times.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it's
There's just so many things. Like film is one thing, but then what about like a YouTube prank video? Like what's stopping you from using AI to make a YouTube prank video? Like you could do that, right? Like if you scripted it out and you're like, oh, I don't know, trolling at Walmart, you could script out the interactions, you could script out the conflict. At a certain point, you wouldn't be able to tell, right? Like whether this is real or not.
yeah, at a certain point.
And that's just, like,
it's
one
almost
video.
there. It's almost there.
I already can't tell. I really can't, bro. Like looking at even that clip of Sneeko on the news this morning, I don't know if that's AI or not.
Yeah, that one kangaroo video fooled everybody on Twitter. Everybody was freaking out about that.
What was the kangaroo video?
It was a video of a woman angry at a flight attendant because the kangaroo couldn't come on board, and the kangaroo was just standing there with the plane ticket.
Yeah.
And so many people on Twitter thought it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
I didn't see that.
So many people thought it was
Could've
real
played
because it
with
was
it.
very subtle, and
Yeah.
it was filmed vertically on
Yeah.
like iPhone style, and everybody was tweeting it, going like, "I just found out this is AI. I'm having an existential crisis. Like, damn, now I can't even tell what's real." And what's
Yeah, no,
fake."
it's crazy. You know what else is wild to think about? Is the fact that history will be a blur too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because how are you going to know from the past what's real or not? You can write any narrative you want. Hey, AI, make this look older.
Even documenting current events that will become history. Just like, if there's a war going on, you could just AI.
What even is this?
Nobody's gonna know what JD Vance actually looked like.
I'm
They're gonna believe it's that chubby figure
I'm gonna tell my kids this was JD Vance.
with a lollipop in his mouth.
Yeah.
Spin
Like historians are just not gonna know. They're like JD Vance. We don't fucking know what this guy looked like.
No, literally,
100
though.
different versions of him.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Who knows,
Yeah,
man?
but okay. So I mean, this philosophy or ideology or whatever you want to call it that I've been trying to like flesh out for the past 3 months is like, I feel like I think your homie's coming in.
What up, cuz?
Yo, cuz.
What up?
You keep going though.
I feel like everything that ends up on a digital canvas is going to be subject to that we're talking about. Like people scrolling on social media, not being able to know what's real or not. That's why I'm trying to figure. Like I take a lot of interest into live streaming, because live streaming seems to be safe from AI.
The one thing that you can't fully fake yet. Joe, can you tell what's real and what's not real with AI right now?
Some things are really obvious, and some things, if they wanted to, I mean, if I could tell if it's fake, then I'd be able to tell if it's fake, I don't know, maybe I saw some AI that really tricked me, you know what I mean? And I still have no idea to this day if it was real or not, but
Yeah.
You guys remember that Will Smith video where he was eating pasta from 2 years ago? Seen that
Yeah.
one?
Dude, that was the first thing that was like crazy, right?
Yeah.
What was he doing? He was eating pasta?
It was like generative
Eating
AI
spaghetti
of
and
him eating
meatballs.
spaghetti and meatballs, but it was like it was bad. It was bad. But that was only 2 years ago, and now it's really good.
Even 6 months ago, AI kind of looked like a Last of Us cutscene.
Yeah.
Where you could still kind of tell. You'd be like, oh, the boomers are going to fall for this. You know, my grandpa's cooked. And now it's the fact that we don't know.
Dude, the Bigfoot AI is my favorite.
Yeah, that one is very
The
interesting. to me.
Bigfoot AI is so funny, yeah.
It cracks me up though.
Yeah,
Woke up on a frozen lake next to a fine huzz.
yeah.
Post huzz reflection wall.
I was thinking about starting one of those TikTok pages
Yeah.
I know, that's there's so
because
many.
it seems like actually a really like funny way to learn, but also like kind of a cool way to like. I don't know.
It's like its own niche. Yeah. Yeah. I guess in the future that you probably like you could. What's stopping you from like 100 years making an AI video of an old timey looking Bigfoot sighting? You know, and then that could be believable. I don't know. I really don't know how people in the future are gonna deal with information.
How does it get much crazier than this, though? Like, this has to be end times.
Nah, not yet, bro. I feel like there's more. I feel like it's been crazy.
else, bro?
That's what they were saying 100 years
I
ago. That's
know
what they
you
said
always
200
say
years
that,
ago.
but, like, how does it get...
And AI could get to the point of having like as much emotion as us, and then like it gets controversial whether like how you treat it.
But I think that's where it's going. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but it gets
but
crazy.
AI in itself, in every movie, there's always the end of time. Like, what else could happen? AI moves into the physical world by like building something and putting consciousness into there. Because what were you talking about the other day? How there was an AI model where they were going to delete it off of the computer, and the AI model duplicated itself into a hard drive to continue to survive.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Hmm.
It's very sneaky.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Can't AI already replace like? Doesn't ChatGPT replace like photo editing already? Like, can't you like take a picture of yourself and like in ChatGPT be like, hey, turn me into like a old like Mongolian warrior like dressed up, and it'll actually like just edit you like right then and there. Just
Yeah, that's like all of Photoshop now.
Yeah.
that's all it,
Like
it's gonna
that's like the
keep
only
working,
feature that Photoshop users use
bro.
now.
It's the same.
Yeah,
I mean, my cousin Joe builds billboards. AI is not taking his job.
Yeah, it is.
What?
Well, it's not gonna take my job, but all the billboards are gonna be LED screens.
Oh, there's not going to be like real billboard.
Instead
Like,
of us changing it out every week and every day.
you just build a screen once and that's it.
Build the screen once and that's it. Every 10 years, I guess, update to the newest product. You know what I mean?
There's got to be like a shift in careers going to happen, right? Like computer science and stuff has been big for the past 20 years, and then that's why people are doing it now. But all this stuff is replacing it. AI is going to replace everything, but I feel like I don't know, like manual labor and stuff's coming back. What do you think? Being an
Yeah.
electrician or something?
yeah. It seems like blue collar jobs is definitely like
Yeah, that's
On
like the
the
new
rise.
era again, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Definitely can't build. We can't build stuff yet.
Everything's really cyclical, isn't it? Like we had like a liberal movement for like 10, 15 years. You couldn't say certain words. Now everybody says all those words. So it's got to come back around at some point again, right? I don't know.
So, Steezy, are you really doomsday about the future of film? Like, you're not passionate about it anymore?
Yeah, within just like 2 weeks, I completely dropped filmmaking as like my identity.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. Again, everything that ends up on a digital canvas, I feel like is out the window. AI is going to replace it. Like now, I'm trying to focus again on live streaming, or live events like theater, something that's like in person. And like if social media becomes this place of people squinting their eyes trying to determine what's real and what's fake, I feel like people are gonna have a lot less fun on social media, and they wanna actually go out and see something in person. That's what I hope. Like AI.
I definitely agree with your
Does.
take about live streaming. It can only get bigger because that's the one thing you can't fake yet. You can't have a 3-hour live stream that's fully generated by AI.
Do you think it has to do with like your appeal in filmmaking though? Like for example, like the technical stuff, AI is doing all of that. You know what I mean? And eventually, it's gonna be able to do story stuff. But I feel like even when we're watching After Hours yesterday, you know, it's like we're noticing all these things that the phone has replaced and all these conflicts that just, you know, you can't really tell in a movie anymore. But I like the story of films. That's what keeps me going, you know, to keep making films or like be involved in learning film. Don't you think like that's something that AI isn't there yet? Like that might give you passion? I don't know. I feel like that's what my passion in film is. Like
stories,
the story.
yeah. Stories is definitely the king of what makes film fun.
Yeah.
But, you know, a story can be told through any medium. Film, I feel like, is going to turn into animation, kind of. Like, animation and film are going to kind of merge together. Yeah, but even AI, I think, will change live streaming, too. I think.
How do you think so? Curious.
There's a lot of things. I don't know if I can come up with, like, a lot of examples, but maybe something like AI that summarizes, like, chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the chat goes off like a machine gun.
I think YouTube has something like that right now. Yeah.
But like AI will be able to like tell the live streamer like certain topics of what the chat's asking for, you know, or maybe like, you know, stuff like that, stuff that helps optimize it. Like it'll make it better.
I mean, iPhone already kind of has that with your text messages. It gives you an AI summary. I've noticed a lot of people will talk to ChatGPT about like laying out a roadmap, and then getting that roadmap gives them enough dopamine to where they actually end up don't doing any of the steps. Have you seen that at all? Because it's so easy to get a roadmap for anything. If you want to lose weight, bulk weight, you want to start training for a marathon, you want to start a business, you want to start content, it'll give you the exact actionables in 2 seconds of what you need to do to hit your goal. But then getting that dopamine of having the roadmap out, which should have taken you trial and error to even figure out a piece of that, you're getting instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever used GPT as a therapist or anything? Like
No. Not as like a therapist.
I've used it for gift ideas.
Gift ideas?
If
Like,
I'm being honest.
yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've used ChatGPT for?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever used it for anything weird, but I have talked to it like, hey, like, dude, this thing's bugging me, you know, something in life, and just like see what it says, you know?
Do you say please to
No,
ChatGPT?
not at all. Never.
I do.
I started off like that. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? I'm kind of an asshole to my, you know, I make it call me king and shit. And just like
Call you what?
king. He's like my liege. Yeah, I've been doing that, but I haven't used it in a while.
I love using it for deep research, though. It's so good at research. Like there's, it's just dumb to use Google for research now. I mean, having a GPT go through hundreds of articles and, you know, just to find something is like
It's so crazy.
no-brainer to do that.
Do you remember when Google first came out with like when you ask a question and then like that box would come up where it actually gave you an answer? I remember that was like the craziest thing.
The Gemini?
No,
Yeah.
way before Gemini. I'm talking about just like when you look up a question and rather just giving you a bunch of links.
Yeah, that's Gemini.
Oh, that is Gemini?
That's
No,
their
no,
AI.
no. Well, are you talking about before AI?
Before AI, yeah.
Oh.
Just when you would look something up and it would pop up in like that little box.
Yeah, I know
and
what
then
you're
all the
talking about. It
links
still
come in.
does that a little bit.
But like
But
that's outdated
just,
now.
that's just pulling from like the most trusted source.
Yeah.
Like it would pull from Quora or Reddit or something.
Remember growing up and being told about how to like cite sources and don't use Wikipedia and all this shit?
Yeah. I never trusted my school when they said don't use Wikipedia, though. I think Wikipedia is like one of the best because it's open source.
Without Wikipedia, I wouldn't have learned about the gay bomb from Steezy. The gay bomb.
I don't think that's real, bro. Steezy was telling us about a gay bomb that they supposedly used. In
They didn't
World War
use
II.
it.
They
They were
didn't use it.
developing.
They didn't use it. They decided.
But you're
not to
telling
use
me
it.
you could drop a bomb and just make us gay? I don't believe it.
It's
bro.
got to be possible, dude. If you
I
could,
think
if you
they
could
have the
inject
technology.
estrogen or testosterone into people and like make them change their gender,
Nothing could make me attracted to you, bro. I'm sorry.
Yo, I'm not really in support of it, but I don't agree with you. I think it's, you know what I mean. I feel like there's technology out there for it, bro.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like you wake up one morning. What did you say yesterday? You were like, I'm feeling different. You know what I mean? Like your homeboy is just like
My history teacher, shout out Mr. Cunningham, taught us
Steezy
about
looked-
the gay
man.
bomb.
I wake up one morning, Steezy's looking a little extra caramel.
yo,
That was a perfect adjective. That's funny.
caramel. Yeah,
That's got to be
good.
part of a stand-up joke or something. That's funny.
What have been the funniest moments of the trip so far? Have you been? You've been up here for about like a week.
You and Warner being mistaken for Ye and
Yeah, it was
Bianca.
hilarious.
Just
That was
to
hilarious,
give
bro.
context to the audience, we went to Digital Nas's party, and Kanye was supposed to show up, and Digital Nas was screaming, watching back the live stream because the whole party was being live streamed, and he was like, "Yo, Ye and Bianca just pulled up. I swear I just saw them on the live stream," and he was boosting about it the whole night. And later he tweeted a screenshot and he was like, "Yo, my bad, I was drunk." And the screenshot was Sonny and our friend Warner.
But you guys,
And
no, you guys
somehow-
were thinking like, "Oh, Ye's here. Like, where is he?"
Yeah. Everybody was like, "Where?" He said, "Ye's here."
Yeah.
And somehow you and Warner look pretty close to Ye and Bianca. That's definitely the funniest moment of the trip.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
The funniest way was just like that's how the night folded together. Because when we were in that room, it was me, Slim, and the Warner next to each other. And I remember Digital Nas yelling on the mic, "Ye and Bianca were here, and they left because y'all weren't turned." And I was asking the Warner, like, what happened? And he's like, "Bro, when Ye pulls up somewhere, the C's are supposed to move. And when the C's don't move, his ego's crushed, and he left." And then just to be in the car and see just like me in my little leather jacket with Warner's big ass right next to me.
So funny.
It's just funny how that works, bro.
Yeah, that's
life
pretty
is
funny.
life is funny. It's been like nonstop side missions since this week. More so for you.
Yeah, Steezy's been doing his cameraman stuff, which has just been interesting. It's cool to watch. Steezy's always just horror farming in general, so you know I'm always watching what you're doing.
Even
Even just like you running with the camera and stuff, it's just like horror, bro. Like, I don't know what to say.
How?
It's like you're like floating, bro.
That's
You're
what I'm saying.
like floating around.
When you're filming for Sneeko, you're floating around, bro.
Floating
It's like
around.
how-
It's like you're
lightweight
invisible
setup, too. Like,
the way
you're
you move.
nimble.
It's like you're a natural gimbal.
You're nimble gimbal, bro.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to film live streams.
Yeah.
It's just
Different
know.
than
You
film.
guys both did that. Wow.
I know, but we did it differently. I feel like I had a backpack set up, this and that, and then like you're in
Yeah.
like a chill area of Sneeko. Like he's building up some motion right now, but it's like you know you got a simple setup. You know,
Yeah.
spark up right now.
yeah. I don't know if
you
I'll be able to do backpack and
Yeah.
mirrorless
That
camera
was
like
hectic.
that. That sounds hectic.
Yeah.
He's on a crazy run right now.
Yeah.
Coming back from Ye, meeting the mayor of New York, got dinner with. He called us right after he got dinner with Spider-Man, Wolf of Wall Street, and Robert De Niro.
That's Goodfellas, man.
Yeah, you should have said Goodfellas.
I know it's just a Goodfellas, but like whatever. He's been in so many things. It's hard
Yeah,
to
I know,
just,
I
like-
know. Godfather, Casino.
And like if you Google the best actors ever, Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro both come up in the top 4.
It's pretty cool, man.
That's crazy.
Pretty cool. So, do you think there's like any film projects you want to work on anytime soon at all, or you're just like
I just
stay there, like,
lost
figure it out?
all.
Yeah.
I lost all.
You're just like in a,
ambition for it.
yeah. You're in a
Like
state
remember
of
that? Remember that? Don't say the title of the film, but remember that film idea I told you guys about last night?
Yeah, yeah.
Like now it's like I don't even know if I want that to be in the medium of film anymore.
How come though?
But
that
maybe
feels, like,
maybe
perfect.
because if I make a film right now should be the time because right now it seems like the last possible moment to get a budget. Just 5 years or 10 years from now, me asking for a budget to make that,
You're like, nah, get fucked.
people are gonna be like, no, you want to do a whole car rig in the middle of downtown New York?
Yeah.
Just AI that. It seems like right now is the only time I can get a budget. So maybe if I want to make a film right now, like it has to be right now, probably.
Dude, even the fact that movies don't even generate that much income anymore. People don't go to the movies.
Yeah, but it's actually had a pretty good run the past 5 years. Joker was the first one. Movie theaters were shutting down already.
Yeah.
Joker being the first R-rated movie to hit $1 billion told Hollywood,
I know that.
okay, something's here. And then COVID happened, and then Hollywood lost its optimism again.
Motion.
And theaters started shutting down again because of COVID. And then what happened after that? Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick was the first movie to...
You're like
I forgot
trailblazed.
how much it made, but it did really well to the point where that movie stayed in theaters for over a year.
What?
shit.
Yeah,
No,
it stayed in
this-
theaters for over a year,
Wow.
and that really showed the industry like, okay, theaters still make money. And then after that, Barbenheimer happened.
Yeah, I learned
so
about
back to
Barbenheimer.
back, we've had the theater has had a really good 5 years, But right now, it's losing its hope again.
Yeah.
It's on the decline again. I think eventually it will die out.
Like the younger generations, people being born now.
Yeah, like
within the last 10 years.
never go to movie theaters.
Dude, these iPad kids, it's gonna be so fascinating to watch them grow up.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I remember as a kid, I used to watch like movies like The Ants Life or some shit. But now they're just like watching Skibbity Toilet and shit, right? Like kids.
Yeah, it's weird talking to kids and they talk in TikTok. That's like their language. It's like a dialect of English. Literally. It's freaky, bro.
Skibbity Ohio.
I'm definitely not gonna give my kids any devices.
I don't know, man. I feel like you have to.
You gotta stay strong, bro.
I've always said that. But at the same time, it's like they might be left behind with their generation. It's a weird conundrum.
I don't think so. I think it's worth it, giving them a real life. You know what I'm saying?
How old would you be? How old would you like give them a phone?
A phone? I mean, maybe a flip phone or one of those ones just to talk.
For how long? Until like what year? Like how old are they gotta be until they get a touch phone?
Bro, realistically, like high school. And out of the thing is, once I give my kids a device, I'm not just gonna give them the device and be like, good luck, have fun. I'm gonna teach them how to use it as a tool. Like when people, you saw the video, when people join my program affiliate, the first thing they're taught before anything TikTok shop related is actually how to optimize their phone. Because too many people go about their day with Instagram next to their business apps. They have no widgets. They don't have any screen blocks on. They don't have any tools. Like, we have a brick right there. So, like, if you tap your phone on that, it blocks all your social media apps. So, I think if you teach your kid how to actually use their phone like a tool, you know what I'm saying? Then it's a lot more effective than them having to figure that out on their own. It's almost like, you know the saying of how your living space, how messy it is, dictates what's going on in your mind, like how messy your mind is.
Yeah.
I feel like if you look at someone's phone screen, that's an even bigger indicator of how their life is.
Yeah,
because
honestly.
your head is actually more dug into this than your surroundings.
That makes
now.
sense.
So if you have your apps all over the place, you got games next to work apps and this and that, you're cooked, bro. You're completely cooked.
How long until you think this is like an old medium? I was talking about that with Steezy. Like, this one day will be like, you know, dial-up phones or something, right? Like you can have like.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta look
inevitably, inevitably, it's.
Yeah.
Do you remember when fingerprint came out on the iPhone? And that was crazy.
But yeah.
Now it's your.
You know, the iPhone 6.
Yeah, I missed that. That was better than Face ID.
Yeah. How come?
Damn, bro.
Because it was just so easy to pull your phone out and just have your thumb on the home.
Yeah, it's
button
like
already,
right there.
and it unlocks. Versus Face ID, you gotta like hold it up at a certain angle, and
Especially
stuff.
when you're about to Apple Pay, it's annoying.
Yeah,
Get to
I
your
miss Apple Paying with the you don't gotta have it show your face. You
Just
just
your thumb.
Yeah. Finger ID was way better.
Steezy, what'd you think of the street hour? Tagging along for that. What kind of vibe did you get?
It was cool to see people like genuinely like asking questions and like genuinely interested. It's a way different vibe than whenever somebody sets up a booth at the park to like sell stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to see how people react to like someone trying to teach people about religion.
I find it weird that people are against learning about other faiths too. I'm always super interested in whatever people believe and learning more about it. I'm never afraid to hear someone else out, you know? A lot of people just want to like blindly live in their own little bubble. What would you say is another highlight of the trip? Ye and Bianca, that was hilarious.
There was another thing I'm forgetting. I guess it was at the Dawa. That crazy guy in the blue hoodie.
When Warner grabbed him,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he rubbed the Quran on his dick.
Hey, yo.
As soon as like I was filming, as soon as I saw that through the camera, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's over."
Oh, yeah, it's
And then I
over.
saw Warner just go like, "That's it."
That's it.
Walk over.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's so funny, bro.
Yeah, that one photo of him smoking, reading the Quran is so funny. I hope that catches on as a meme.
Someone's got to post it. No one's posted it yet.
Yeah.
What are some other topics that we've been talking about this week?
I guess like the future of YouTube. Vlogs are dead.
Yeah.
I feel like vlogs are completely dead. We were talking about this with Sneeko as well, how vlog content is basically just live stream content, except it's so much more inefficient because you have to film. You're not constantly recording, so you miss good moments. And then after you film, you have to edit it, so then it's longer production time, and you have to cut out a bunch of stuff and handle pacing and music and all this stuff.
Yeah, live streaming has completely replaced like that 10 to 15 minute YouTube video format.
There's no point.
Because, yeah, it's a lose-lose situation with vlogs. The audience doesn't get to see it live, so they can't interact with it. And they don't get to see the whole thing. Yeah, like it's edited. So it makes no sense. And plus, when people go out and do a 5-hour IRL live stream, they get like 7 vlogs from it. Like they could post like 10-minute segments from it on their second channel and stuff. Yeah, it's like there's no need for vlogs at all anymore. And it's weird to see like medium form content is completely fizzling out, and now social media is either like extreme long form 5-hour live streams or even podcasts, or extreme short form, which is like
Doom
TikToks
scrolling.
that's clipped from those live streams. So yeah, the middle is completely like gone now, or it's disappearing at the moment.
It's definitely predominantly short form because Sneeko, Lacey, the rest of the Phase guys, any of these people, when they're out getting recognized, 99.9% of the time, it's people that see their clips. It's not people that
Yeah.
actually watch the live streams. It's a very small sect.
Yeah.
Don't you just think it's dead for like the big influencers? Like for those guys, like there's absolutely no point. But for the people who are like trying to build something, like on YouTube, for example, there's so many creators like you probably wouldn't want to watch this guy just like go about his day, you know. But when he edits it and like puts it together, you know, that's what YouTube kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, if you edit something, you definitely give something to the audience that live streams can't give. Like, if you can beautifully edit something together, like putting Radiohead under a very organized commentary about a certain topic is definitely something you can't do with a live stream.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's just hard to pump out a quantity of that.
Yeah.
Filming for Sneeko for his live streams recently, it's been so interesting just to something that I've learned the past few days is like it's all about clips. I didn't really know that before, because when I was live streaming, I would get discouraged about like the live viewers.
Yeah.
And like the live viewers
Doesn't
going
mean
down.
shit,
Doesn't matter.
literally.
But filming, I realized like you could have 50 live viewers, but if you get good clips, those go viral on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like that's all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were even saying that it's like almost like a blessing for Sneeko that he got banned on all these socials because it takes off all the pressure of him even going live. Like he's basically going live just a clip for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even
Yeah.
post like a tweet or anything.
You probably
about
like
being live.
even it's sometimes I mean nobody would ever do this, but it would be worth it to not even go live and just 0 live viewers and just record and just get clips.
I've
But
seen
still
people
like
do
those
that,
will go
yeah.
viral.
Yeah. That's what people who are like trying to come up do, right? Like they're just trying to get a clip, you know. I've seen people do it on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm about to start live streaming, and I know I'm probably gonna have points where I'm under like 100 viewers, and I'm gonna get the comments like 600,000 subs, 50 viewers.
I hated getting those.
Yeah.
I hated getting those.
People would say that in
But
chat.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like you said, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at
3
the end of the
million
day when it's about the
subscribers
clips.
and 200 live viewers is crazy.
But it's like
I
they also
hated
don't
reading
they also
those.
don't understand the algorithm that like I built for me personally. I built my subscribers mainly off of public interviews, mom reacts videos, and short form content. So I didn't get my subs for live streaming, so they don't convert. Like if you build a YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers, all from shorts, it doesn't convert into long form. You
Yeah.
could post a video and it gets 500 views.
Yeah.
It's the same principle of if you're posting long form videos and then you start live streaming, it doesn't necessarily convert. But I think a live streaming arc for me is what I'm going to do next, seriously, because just being here and seeing Sneeko do it, it's just like, it's
You
a whole
also got a
different...
perfect place for it too.
I have a perfect place
Like,
for
you
it.
got a perfect streaming room.
And I've noticed whenever I've gone the most viral consistently, I always have a vehicle that takes me to that success. So before I started the SonnyFaz brand, I was posting like finance TikToks where I'd be following TikTok trends or talking to the camera with like that text above my screen. And then when I started SonnyFaz, I ran Mom Reacts. That was my vehicle. You know, if I wanted to network with someone, I could react to one of their videos, and then they would know that I reacted. That's that connection. And then I would do public interviews. That's a way to get into any subject. And then since then, I haven't really had an exact vehicle to push forward that I've stayed consistent with. And I think live streaming is it. Because, like, you know, right now we're doing this whole pod with the 2 cameras and shit, but like we easily could have just like sparked up on my phone, pointed it at us, and we would have probably gotten the same clips and stuff. You know, if someone's in town and I want to collab with them, you could just go live, drive around, whatever.
Live streaming and podcasts. Those are the two formats on the rise.
I like doing podcasts a lot. I just feel like I'm too young. I don't know. I've always thought a podcast is something I start when I'm a bit older, and I'm like going into like that Joe Rogan era of kind of chilling out.
Podcasts and live streaming are the only 2 formats that people believe are real. People want to see real stuff. I noticed the younger generation, Generation Alpha. Another thing that scares me is Gen Alpha growing up right now. None of them aspire to be directors, actors, writers. None of them. They all aspire to be Kai Cenat and 𝐼𝐸.
That's so crazy.
So it makes me think in the future, like, there's going to be no demand for film. They all want to be Kai Cenat and 𝐼𝐸.
Isn't it so crazy that in the
They're
last...
going to be like, what is an actor?
I do think about that sometimes. Like when I'm making a film and stuff, I'm like, the kids nowadays are just watching Kai Cenat. You know what I mean? Digital Essence Streamer University.
What would you say was the first big combination of like streamer influencer to mainstream world? Because now we see Kai Cenat on stage with Playboy Cardi and all this stuff all the time, consistently going on Jimmy Fallon. What was like the first big one that really pioneered it? Do you remember?
I mean, we were talking about Chris Chan and Jimmy Fallon the other day.
Stuff like that.
That was crazy
cool
back in the day.
Yeah.
But in the live streaming world specifically,
Yeah, just like
I think Aiden Ross kicked that off.
With Trump?
Aiden Ross is what made celebrities really respect streamers. He was the first one to bring rappers in.
rappers. Yeah, Aiden Ross really
I'd say
did trailblaze.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like streaming with Bronny and then, you know, Travis Scott, whatever, all these guys.
He did a stream with Travis.
No, I don't think he did a stream with Travis, but just like hanging out with those guys, you know what I mean? Like he was like one of the first, I feel like, to really just, as a streamer, be a part of that, you know what I mean?
Because now it's normal now. It's like Kevin Hart and Kai Cenat up on stage reading off like Grammys. They just throw them into everything.
Yeah. Live streaming is definitely becoming it's becoming the norm for what cable TV used to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking like it seems like cable TV and live streaming are going to merge eventually in the future. Like the UFC, I don't know how true this is, but the UFC is saying they're going to start streaming on Kick.
What?
Yeah. Is that true?
Crazy.
Did you see that too?
I haven't heard about that, but that would honestly it makes sense. Like
it makes sense because nobody if you want to watch a fight or anything that happens on cable TV, you need to pay $80 a month.
Yeah.
For YouTube TV or something. It's just always difficult to find. Like, you know, whenever you want to watch the Oscars or watch like the BET Awards, it's so difficult to.
Yeah.
Like it's like you need to get your free trial on Fubo TV or something, or
Yeah, you just don't have cable anymore to just like flip it on.
You
or
know
sometimes they selectively only do like certain apps.
Yeah.
You know what else has been stupid revolutionary? Is Apple Pay. Being incorporated into every single website.
Yeah.
Now if I ever have to manually enter my card info, I'll sometimes just leave. So I'm just like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest ways that Apple makes their money because they take 30%
From all Apple Pay
from
trans-
all Apple Pay transactions. I think.
No.
I think that's what they do.
From in-app purchases. I think that's a bit different.
Okay.
Because if you're using Apple Pay, like, there's no way they're charging 30%.
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. I guess it's in-app purchases.
Like, if you have an app and then you sell something in that app,
yeah.
they take 30%. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
But that's what I liked so much about TikTok Shop was the fact that, like, while you're scrolling, you're being marketed to products, and then you could buy that product in 2 clicks with Apple Pay.
Have you guys bought anything off TikTok Shop yet?
Yeah.
You buy stuff?
Yeah, all those products over there we bought on TikTok Shop.
That's crazy.
I bought a ton of stuff on TikTok Shop.
What's like the best thing you guys have bought off TikTok Shop?
Probably an iPhone tripod.
Oh,
It's like a tripod that flips like this, and you can use it as like a grip.
Yeah.
Pretty good. A lot of the things I bought off TikTok Shop are actually way better quality than I thought they were going to be.
Exactly. Well, that's what happens is people initially think that TikTok Shop kind of has like that Temu Wish.com vibe where it's scammy, and then they buy something and they realize it's actually a legit e-commerce platform. So TikTok's biggest goal right now is actually just getting more people to just buy their first thing so they can see it's legit, because they then know that they'll be returning customers. So TikTok will actually take a loss on the first product that people buy, because they know that the LTV, the lifetime customer value, is actually more valuable. Super interesting. And the fact that just like the way that whole ecosystem is, where a creator can just get an account with 5,000 followers, post videos for products, and then make a percentage of every sale. We've never seen a side hustle like that ever.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember when I started out, I was posting like movie clips, or that's what I was doing. I was posting like movie clips to try to learn the TikTok algorithm. And now you can literally sell products or do clipping for somebody or something and make a bag in the process while like getting your editing and social media skills up.
Yeah, and TikTok is I think the best algorithm out of all the social media platforms, unfortunately.
Yeah. And also the
It has
aspect.
such an accurate algorithm.
Yeah. Like it pushes exactly what you want and need. And especially the fact that it's somebody selling you the product too. It's not just like an ad or a picture that you're seeing with some reviews. It's a video with a face of someone saying, this is how this product changed my life. This is how I used it. And you can determine if they feel authentic or not. Because that energy does go through the camera. Like if you're being an inauthentic TikTok Shop creator and selling stuff you don't believe in, your videos convert way less. But as a TikTok Shop creator, you can just promote stuff that you actually do believe in.
Yeah, and if people want to learn how to make money on TikTok Shop, they need to sign up for affiliate.
I'm not even trying to yap about it like crazy and like, sound like that, but like it's just a cool business model, bro. That's where a lot of my time goes.
W plug.
No, it is. It is good. It is good. I think the best thing about TikTok Shop is Apple Pay being integrated right there.
2 clicks.
Yeah.
2 clicks. And you have stuff on the way to your house. I feel like we're going to see people that need to go to therapy because they were like doom scrolling for 3 hours and they accidentally spent like $500.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Am I wrong?
No, yeah, it's insane. I mean, just the fact, like, I'm someone who never buys things, and I've bought
You bought
a good amount of stuff on.
You bought a supplement on TikTok
Yeah.
Shop. A supplement ad got you.
I haven't bought anything off of TikTok Shop.
I don't in
use
Canada.
TikTok.
You don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could live here too, though. But you know, I'm here enough. But I just don't. I haven't used it yet. But it makes complete sense. You know, you just press one button. It's a great way to advertise products. Do you guys think you can get like have a photo album of your kids and stuff when you grow up? Like you know,
Like a physical one?
yeah,
No, Dropbox.
Dropbox. Send the link to your child. Like, hey, here's a Google Drive.
In the future, whenever like you go over to a family's house and the family wants to embarrass their son, like, hey, you want to see baby pictures? They don't bring out the
That's
physical
Joe.
photo album.
Yeah.
They bring out the Dropbox.
Yeah.
We have one of those picture portraits where it keeps sliding through pictures that you put into that folder.
But those are all like old photos, right?
That has like 100,000 units sold on TikTok Shop too. I feel like printing out the most important photos is really good though, because there is going to be a day where you can't access that Google Drive and those YouTube videos anymore. They're not immortal.
Yeah, a sun flare hits the.
Anything. Their servers get attacked, whatever it is.
Yeah, there's
You
like
get
a
an EMP
realness
attack.
to like a print. Like it's like physical, you know what I mean? The digital can disappear. Like we feel like it's permanent, but it's not.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
Your channel could get banned, anything.
I don't know. I'd like to believe like I was pretty doomer about this stuff, like all this AI stuff. But then I think recently I've just been like, you know, butterflies and rainbows. It'd be cool to like, you know, think like that. I do want to have like physical prints and stuff. I think like there's a magic to that. And I'm trying to think about like what can we preserve from like what our parents had. You know what I mean? There's just like there's obviously cool things about our generation, but stuff like a photo album is, you know, cool to look back on or just have, you know.
Hell yeah.
I just I think there's an aura. I like to think, like, especially with this film stuff, whatever. When I'm curious, like, all this stuff we've talked about with AI, like, oh yeah, you could just like throw on a filter to like, you know, have this accent, whatever. But before, like, you're an actor, like, you gotta learn this accent, you gotta go amongst the people, see how they talk, what they talk about. You kind of pick up all those things as well, right? That's like a part that AI can't really give you. I feel like there's an aura, even like as a person, like me personally, working in the space of like filmmaking and everything, I feel like I have a lot of connection with people in the industry, but I'm not really big on like, oh, I gotta get views and this and that, you know? Like, I obviously want to do well with my work, but I think what sells me, and I think a lot of other people too, and I feel this way about you guys as well, is like, you know, you have a certain aura about yourself. You have to go through this experience or whatever, and these aren't things that you talk about with people, but you being like that makes you, you know, ponder things differently, or you walk a different type of way, and that's what people like. I feel like there's like a under, you know, aura about that.
You know what I like that I like a lot that you said yesterday was how as a creative, you don't have to like everything you watch. You just have to pluck something.
Yeah, take what you want.
Take what you want.
Yeah.
Like, we just watched some trash horror movie the other day, but I
I
added one.
recommended.
It's okay, bro.
I can't believe I recommended it.
But we plucked
Enjoy
one
it.
song from it, and then if you use that in a future video, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or one cut, one transition.
Yeah, I remember
One shot.
I had that thought 3 years ago as an aha moment, and it completely made me watch movies differently.
Plugging stuff.
Because, like taking what you want in everything, even listening to music, you know.
Scrolling on TikTok, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Whatever it is.
take what you want.
Yeah, no.
versus
100%.
versus having to like the whole thing, like because I used to watch whenever I would watch a bad movie in the past, I would be like pissed off and I would feel like my time was wasted after it. But after I found that new mindset of take what you want, yeah, you just watch movies differently.
What do you think got you into being a creative in the first place?
The gay bomb. Hit him.
Not even necessarily like making videos and stuff. Just like being a creative. Like, what was like the first thing where I was like, oh, you know, I like being creative.
Daydreaming, being very introverted in elementary school.
Yeah.
I was so introverted, I was selectively mute. So I was the kid who never spoke. Nobody knew what
This
my
guy's
voice
farming
sounded
ore
like.
as a child. That's over farming.
Nah. Nobody knew what my voice sounded like in elementary school.
Really?
Yeah.
All of elementary school?
So, all of elementary school. I didn't speak until 6th grade.
What?
And I didn't start speaking because I moved schools. So I was like, yes, I have a fresh start. I can just be
I can say
I can be a
something.
Because
new
you didn't
kid.
want to, like, you didn't know what you
Yeah, I
wanted your
didn't,
first
because I
thing to
knew
say.
if I said one word, the whole school would be shocked. And it would be a whole thing. And I was like, I don't want to.
Were you serious? You never said a
So-
single thing all day at school?
Yeah, never. Never.
Not even like,
Only to the teacher, and it was like whispering in the ear.
wow.
What?
Yeah.
They never like pick you to like.
Oh, and I had a crush, and I would only talk to her, but I would only whisper in her ear. So she only knew what my whisper sounded like.
Yeah.
So I
Wait.
was that shy.
You're saying, like, never once?
Yeah, never. I was the kid. You guys had kids in your school,
Yeah,
right?
of
That was
course.
like that, like
But
the
they
kid
spoke
that never
once in a
spoke.
while, you know?
But when they spoke, it was like, holy shit, he spoke.
What's he got to say?
Yeah, I hated that. I hated that. So I would never speak.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Um,
crazy.
So I guess to answer your question, in school, I was always the observer.
Yeah.
I would always daydream. I remember I was always off in my head, daydreaming about something, anything, war or like certain scenarios or like
That definitely makes
arguments,
sense.
you know.
I feel like you still do daydream. Like I have like 3 photos of you just like sitting like looking up, you know, on the ledge, or like lying down. I'm just like, yo, he's like really,
Yeah.
you know, he's dreaming right now.
He's farming ore, bro.
I spend half of my time in my head, which is not good. But
That's
yeah,
really
I would
interesting,
say
though.
that's what made me creative.
How about
if I
you,
were to
Sonny?
guess.
You have a moment where like you're like, oh, you know what, this creative stuff's like kind of like my thing.
It was actually the same realization that you had, where whatever you consume, if you just switch your mindset from being a mindless consumer to plucking things, then you can do whatever you want, quite
Yeah.
literally. You can become an artist. You can become an artist if you think of all the different beats and transitions that people use in songs, and you just keep them in your head, then you can apply that. Same thing with film. Same thing with making TikToks. If you want to be a stand-up comedian, if you just say some funny jokes and then you write those down, and then at the end of the year you just piece those jokes together, now you have a stand-up skit. It's really just about taking the most of everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And everything that you consume. And then you can quite literally do whatever you want. But most people operate from mindlessly consuming where they don't even think about it. They don't think, why does this still have my attention? Why is this viral? Why is this popular? Oh, it's fucking stupid. Scroll. Scroll. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah. Being an artist is basically just making a collage of what you like.
No, literally. And that's how it's been since the dawn of time. It's just people consistently plucking, and now that's their own thing. And then someone else plucks from him and other people, and then that's their own thing. Like what, you're inspired by Scorsese, some Japanese guys, some this, some that, and now it's Saqeb style.
Yeah, you plug a bunch of stuff and make your own style.
And that's just, that chain of events has just been happening since the start.
Yeah.
The indication, the early indication for an artist is having good taste. Like if you have good taste in being a consumer, that's like, I feel like the early dawn of a good artist that can create amazing things.
Yeah, I think taking inspiration from other work is really good too. It's kind of funny when people like fully. I don't think you should ever like fully copy something necessarily if you're actually trying to be creative, but taking inspiration is always good. So many people have like tried to fully copy the Upgrade Your Character video, for example.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it's
Same song, same
doesn't
intro,
hit.
cigarette.
Yeah, same shot.
You can never stop people from copying you, but
I think it's admirable.
People copying you.
Yeah, I agree.
People copying you is a really good indicator that you're onto something.
Yeah, I love it when someone copies me. I'm not gonna lie, because it's never gonna be like.
But you hate it sometimes too, right?
No,
not really. Because I feel like I've never seen someone copy me, and I'm like, fuck, this is better. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh, you're clearly inspired. You're not there yet, but you know.
It's like,
but
good job, little bro.
Yeah.
But there are times where, like, yeah, people will copy you and it's not as good as yours is. Like, for example, there was this one guy that used to copy my songs in public.
Yeah.
And it would piss me off so much, even knowing that I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But the reason why it pissed me off is, like, he looked like me too, but they weren't as good as my videos.
Yeah.
So the thought of some people who briefly know who I am, but maybe they don't know my
thinking
name.
that's you.
They'll see his videos thinking it's me, and then
This is
they'll
ruining
be like,
your reputation.
yeah, and they'll be like, these videos aren't as good anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that really
He's
messed
literally
with
the
me.
Walmart Steezy.
Fair enough. That makes
It
sense.
really messed
though.
with me.
That's like a different type of niche, and especially if he looks like you, I feel like that would, he's fucking with your brand a little bit.
Yeah, that used to really get to me, bro. Back in the day.
The first time someone really copied me was in the Mom Reacts days. Some dude started titling his videos MUM Reacts.
Mom
and
Reacts?
would copy every single video I did, word for word in the title, except for MUM, mum, and then the same thumbnail.
Yeah, it'd just be mom. It's like British.
It was British. It was British Mom Reacts.
Nice.
But it's funny when you have those videos and then in the comments it's like, SonnyFaz still better. Stuff like that. I'm sure you'd see those. Like, Steezy still better.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. I mean, who cares, bro? When do you feel like you moved on from trying to prove... when do you feel like you moved on from your inspiration and fuel being, I want to prove my hometown wrong?
That's a good question.
When I moved out of my hometown.
Like right when you got out of...
Yeah, I think so. Which is not, like... I feel like that was one of the greatest feels I had.
Was proving them wrong.
Yeah, and losing that, I kind of felt like I lost my motivation. Like my original reason why I started. Because really, I mean, one of the main reasons why I blew up on YouTube.
I think the battery died. Not battery, it got full. We can just keep rolling on that one.
Rolling on this? Yeah. That's good. That has all of us in frame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why I like really started going hard on YouTube is just like wanting to prove that girl wrong in high school.
Yeah.
The one that broke my heart. And yeah.
Yeah. That's how it starts always. You got like some type of animosity or like some experience. Like I gotta show you,
Yeah, but I think further from that, which I haven't found yet, and this is one of the hardest things to find, but like having to find purpose in life. And that I think is the ultimate feel. Something that's like greater than you.
Yeah, of course.
I think Warner has that. I think one of the only things that gives you that is religion and kids. Those are the two things that give you purpose. But right now, what we have, I think, is drive. Motivation, I think, is the first one, and then it's drive, and then purpose. But yeah, purpose is hard. Purpose is hard to
Purpose sheds too, you know? It sheds. Like you have a purpose for a little bit and then it sheds into something else, like you need a new purpose. Right? Like you at a certain point you accomplish a purpose. Like your purpose can be like, oh, I gotta hit this number, or I gotta like make this thing. And you know, in the journey of that even you kind of figure out other purposes, like, oh, there's more to this thing.
No, I think purpose is greater than that. Like, I think what you're describing is drive. This is, of course, what I think, but...
Do you mean, like, why God put you here?
Yeah. Like, purpose is,
gotcha.
like the greatest thing that you can achieve.
Gotcha.
It's like something that is, like, beyond your death. You know, like, that's why I think kids is a great example of purpose. As soon as you have your first kid, your whole life perspective changes, and now you no longer live for yourself, you live for
the kid,
for your kids. Like, you want your kids to thrive even after you die.
Isn't it crazy that once your dad dies, you lost the only man that ever wanted to see you do better than him?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's it. It's just your dad. And the only unconditional love you'll ever get is from your mom.
Yeah, some dads don't, though. My dad wanted to, but like one of the saddest stories in history, I think, is Marvin Gaye. Like he got his dad shot him. Like that's
really?
crazy.
I didn't know that's how he went out.
Some dads get really jealous if their son becomes more successful than them.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it is dumb.
What a bozo.
I didn't know that. How old was Marvin Gaye when he died?
He died to that?
Yeah, that's how he died.
Oh, damn.
His dad shot him because he was jealous, I think. Because Marvin Gaye was like a superstar.
Was he gay?
No. His last name was Gay, but he wasn't gay. No, he was the straightest man on earth. He made some of the best R&B music.
Favorite R&B artist?
He's up there for sure. Oh man, his music was so good. But yeah, man, jealousy is a weird emotion.
I don't get jealous when my boys do well. I don't know. That's not a trait that I really have.
I think it's what you're rooted in. You know what I mean?
Like whenever you do well, or bro, I've like helped you secure like some fat deals.
No, of course. I think it depends. Like I feel like when I was in that younger mindset of like, oh, I gotta show you. It's not that I'd be jealous of people, but it's like emotions like that are more at play. But when you're just like trying to just figure some shit out, you're just so in your lane. Like you're just trying to figure out your purpose. You don't have time to think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't care to think about stuff like that. It's irrelevant. You know, you're just so focused on your own thing. I would say that's something that comes with maturity. It's like what you said. Like when you hit like a certain age, you kind of like get this like new consciousness. Like, you know, like you said, you didn't feel conscious until like a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
I feel the same. I felt like that like last year. I was like, yo, who was I even up until now? Like, you know, it's just like life's kind of going. But that's just maturing, I guess. You know, you kind of like become this new version of yourself all the time that you're so detached from the old version. It's like, how did I even end up here?
I had a funny realization lately. It's just like, damn, I'm always hanging around brown people.
You got some caramels around you, I ain't gonna lie.
It didn't even click to me. I was just like, wow. I'm really hanging around brown people.
You don't got no Chinese friends or nothing?
I just don't think about race like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're all brown though.
I think that's when we were with Arb.
I've always had that with Asian people.
Yeah.
You just hang around with Asian people?
Yeah, like not on purpose. It's just like
Happens.
like someone pointed out to me, and I'm like,
Oh shit, I'm with a bunch of Asians.
yeah.
They're the most social group of people, man.
Asians?
I know, rolls like 10 deep wherever they go.
Yeah,
I guess that is true.
We've been rolling like straight middle schoolers this whole week. Walking around New York City with like 10 to 12 guys.
Single file lines.
Single file line, holding hands. Saqeb's been my buddy
Hey, yo, what the
for
fuck?
crossing the street.
No. Never held a hand. Never holding a man's hand. On me.
I brought a hometown friend around for one of those adventures too. Want to be a little louder?
What were you saying?
Forget. So I brought a hometown friend around us. That was fun. It was really fun seeing those circles collide. Of someone that I grew up with in Boston. What?
Nothing. You're talking about John, right? Obviously.
Yeah, John. So he came, hung out with us at Sneako's crib too. It was just funny seeing that.
He predicted Iran getting attacked by Israel.
Visionary.
The day
That
before.
was crazy.
Visionary.
The day before, he was telling me, "Yo, I think Israel's gonna attack Iran tomorrow."
This guy's an informed.
And I was listening to him. I was like, "I kind of believe you. You sound so confident saying this." Next day happens.
Yeah.
W. John.
Yeah, what a legend,
Bro.
man.
I mean, that was just so funny to. He was in like one of the clips, like one of the Sneako updates clips, and then it went viral on Instagram. And so people from like hometown were sending it around to each other, like, "What the fuck is John Flynn? What is John doing with Sneako?" And I just like, it's just so funny that I.
John, what's coming next? We gotta know. John, give us the next update. We're
Give us
waiting.
the scoop, John.
We're waiting for the scoop.
What were you laughing at? What I said?
Yeah. Yeah, I like John. John's cool.
Dude, hometown friends, like, you don't want to just. I see so many entrepreneurs say to just cut off all your hometown friends, but those are some of the only loyal boys you got. Like, truly loyal friends. I've noticed the only other really loyal friends I have are other Muslims.
You got hometown friends that you're like really like tight with? Not really?
Nah, I mean, I wasn't really close with anybody in my high school. Maybe like 3 people, but
I wasn't either. These are guys that I just grew up with in my hometown. But they're all good dudes.
I've always been a lone wolf. Always.
Ooh.
We've been kicking it a lot, though. Just, like, BSing and talking.
Yeah.
But when you're in your bag, you're like, oh, you're a lone wolf. Like you're in your bag. Like, I gotta roam right now. On my solo dolo.
Yeah, I don't like that I'm like that though.
Yeah.
But I can't help it.
Yeah.
Every now and then I always go off into like a void.
Do you feel like you get socially exhausted being around people too much?
Sometimes.
Yeah, of course. I'm introverted, so my battery charges when I'm alone. It's crazy for me to see extroverts though. Like, I remember I had this one extroverted friend in LA, Jonathan, super extroverted guy, and he was telling me like when he's alone at his apartment, he's like itching to talk to someone.
What?
So he goes out and does Uber rides just to talk to people.
Wow. Huh.
And like
What?
I can't imagine being like that. Like, but he's like the exact opposite of me.
Yeah.
His battery charges when he's talking with people, and his battery is being used when he's alone. Like I can't imagine being like that.
Yeah.
He's so talkative. Every time we go hang out, he's always talking with like other people.
Oh, that shit gets exhausting being around those kinds of people way too long. People that are just like when you're just trying to chill and think for a second and they're just nonstop or they're repeating themselves. Bro, we gotta do this,
Yeah.
we gotta do this, we gotta do this.
I do like being around those people though. It gets exhausting, yeah, but like I like to learn from them. Or like, I don't know.
Because you're like the opposite.
I feel like I can learn from their traits.
That's what you're saying.
So the gay bomb.
Yeah, the game bomb.
What else has happened lately? We've had so many laughs. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
There's another thing, but I don't know if we could talk about that.
Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, we can't talk about that.
That's just you saying that sounds so sus.
We can think of a couple more topics. It's been over an hour.
After you. How do you get into flow state?
I learned this recently.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I figured out the key. All right? I'm about to put y'all on.
I need this game.
It's very simple.
Okay.
I learned it from a Basquiat video.
Hmm.
It's if y'all want to watch it, the audience, it's the Basquiat video that's by the YouTube channel Make Art Not Content, I believe it's called. But it says to get into the flow state, you cannot be thinking of other people's thoughts. Or like when you're working on, let's say, a film as an example, you cannot be thinking about how the audience is going to perceive it. You need to just be thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't be thinking about executive notes. You can't be thinking about your audience not liking this one scene. I can't put it as well as the video puts it, but as soon as you extract all of everybody else's expectations of the work you're working on, I think that is the key into getting into flow state. And every time that I've done that, I enter into flow state.
Yeah. No interruption in like how you're moving.
That was another aha moment I had recently.
That makes a lot of sense. Any rituals you have? Like,
Same thing. Like, I mean, even when I was like, you guys saw me, I was procrastinating this Patreon work for the past few days. And it's just because the only thing that's making me procrastinate on it is because I'm just worried about, are the Patreon people going to like this idea? Are they going to think this idea is weird and this one? But if I just like get that the fuck out of my head and I just work for myself and what I like, I could just machine gun away at the keyboard. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does, totally.
Yeah, of course it does. Whenever I'm writing my stuff, I always like to think, what will I be proud of looking back in 30 years? I feel like all the videos like me and Saqeb have made, for example, are timeless. Free America, Upgrade Your Character, Boston Robber. That's one of the only pieces of content where I genuinely haven't gotten sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas,
because you're making that for yourself.
Yeah. Whereas like
you're making that because you want to be proud of what you
like. I'm not going
at
back
your catalog
and watching my stocks, TikToks, my mom reacts videos, my public interviews where I'm flirting with girls and stuff. Like that stuff makes me cringe, and this doesn't, But the downside of doing those is they're just like high budget and they're not like the highest ROI, which sucks.
Do you have any rituals for your flow state? Like anything you do, like gets you into space? I don't know, lighting up a candle, being in a certain type of room.
Always having a light carrying stomach, meaning don't eat till you're full.
I like that one.
Don't like if you have a food coma, you could kiss your flow state goodbye for that day.
100% agree on that one.
Maybe like you start working 3 hours after you wake up. Not too much caffeine, maybe 50 milligrams of caffeine. Good black coffee, no milk. And very light breakfast. Steak and eggs with a little bit of carbs. Just treat your body right.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's good.
Right before I do some work, it's always like 80% protein, 20% carbs, and black coffee. That will have my mind very sharp.
That is facts.
And 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
This is just me though. Everybody's different, but like 8 hours or more, I'm groggy the whole day. I need 6 hours the night before.
Food is definitely one of the bigger things I feel like that's just underrated in killing the flow state. Like everyone's like so keen on having breakfast and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I hate that. Like whenever I work with people, most people they like to work after lunch, and I'm like, yo, bro, this is like men are useless after lunch. Like, why do y'all want to go and like eat this huge heavy meal right before we work?
That's what I'm saying.
Have you ever noticed, like, this is gonna be terrible advice, and I don't recommend people do this, but after like a deep doom scroll session where you're in that guilt and you're like, I have to make up for this, that's been some of my best writing. Where I just like go ham because I'm just so mad at myself.
Yeah. One of my homies, Phil, he told me this really he gave me this really good advice on what to do. If you're scrolling on your phone, that is like peak dopamine because it's a drug. Mm-hmm. It's a drug. You're looking at the most viral videos. If you put your phone down and immediately try to work, your brain is going to reject that. Going from peak dopamine to work, that's not possible. So he said, put your phone down, put a timer for 10 minutes, and like go on your balcony and just do nothing for 10 minutes. After those 10 minutes, then work. Your brain is going to have a lot of an easier time going from doing nothing to working, rather than going from scrolling to working
directly.
You're going down. Instead, 10 minutes of dopamine detox and then work.
That makes
sense.
sense.
Bro. That I realized like that does make a huge difference.
Yeah,
that's actually true.
I told one of my students a while ago. He was saying he was lacking discipline and focus. So I said, lock yourself in the bathroom for an hour and turn the lights off. And after that hour is done, making some TikToks and posting them is going to sound like the most fun thing in the world to do.
Whole ass hour. Did he do it?
Yeah, he did it. And then he was more consistent.
Even if you want to be extreme with it, something that I do kind of often is I take myself on camping trips without my phone for like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
And I would use a light phone, if you guys know the
I
light
have one,
phone
yeah.
company. I'll just put my SIM card in that. And
You go solo?
Solo.
Yeah.
I can't camp with people.
Mm-hmm.
I get mad. No, that's a joke. But yeah, like I use a light phone, that way I can get text messages and calls, and that's all you can do on your light phone. You can do other things like notes and stuff, but
You bring a notebook, though,
having,
right? You bring a notebook, right?
yeah, notebook, and some books. But yeah, having 3 days without social media is a good way to like hard reset your brain.
And then when you look at your phone again, doesn't it look so freaky and weird?
It looks so colorful and shiny and beautiful.
I remember when I would get grounded as a kid and I would get my phone back, it would be like, feel like the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I never had that. I never got grounded or got my phone taken away.
I got that all the time.
I think my family was just too chill. But yeah, one time I went camping for 3 days. I told you this already, but I went camping for 3 days without my phone, and then I came back to the news of Trump being shot.
Huh.
That was the craziest
That was
news.
recently. It was like less than a year ago.
In November or
Yeah.
something last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
camping for 3 days with no phone,
Wow.
and that was the craziest news to come back to.
Of course.
Like I felt like I was gone for months or something.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Trump got shot.
What do you be eating when you do go camping? Like you be cooking stuff
Oh,
on
I
a
cook.
fire?
I cook out there.
Yeah, yeah.
I
What
cook
do you
out there.
cook?
I
That's
make
what
a
I'm
fire. I make a fire,
Yeah.
and I bring a skillet pan.
Nice.
And I'll cook steak and eggs is always my go-to.
Yeah, yeah.
Steak and eggs or some tacos or something.
That's
Kind
so
of a vibe, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's just amazing to cook outside.
Yeah.
You know, bring your own eggs and stuff, and
Bro, we should do that. Sounds
I know, for real.
and make your own coffee too. Like
Yeah.
I'll put coffee pot over the fire and brew coffee. Bro, being out in the wilderness is the shit.
You gone fishing?
Nah, I don't know how to fish.
That'd be cool to like catch
I don't
a
like
fish and-
fish, though.
You don't?
Yeah.
What if you caught it though and you like roasting on the fire? Like, oh, I had to like earn this.
It sounds fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's an
I
experience.
do want to
you know?
learn how to fish. Austin's also a really good city for fishing.
Really? You know, catch a fish, scale it a bit, put on the fire, boom. Sprinkle a little salt. Find a stick on the ground to roast it with. Like, feels very
Yeah.
grounding, I think.
Yeah. Some people go extreme with it. Like some people bring water filters and they'll scoop up water from the lake and filter it out. and
You
use
brought
that
your
to
own water,
drink.
right?
Yeah, I'll bring. I'm not that extreme.
Yeah.
Because when you do
Boil
that, the
it.
water is really nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm gonna take a pass.
You got like a nice little tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
I
you
like the
sleep in a
gotta
tent.
tents.
Yeah.
That sounds so
The
lit.
classic ones.
Yeah.
Bro, I'd love to go camping, but I don't want you to get mad at me.
You gotta go solo, bro. You gotta go solo. I like that
No,
you
no,
go
no, no,
solo.
no, no, no. I actually am mistaken that. I don't. I hate going on road trips with people.
Oh.
Road trips alone are dope, but every time I go on a road trip with, I remember I went on a road trip from California to Texas with like 5 people in the car.
No, that's way too
That's-
many.
Yeah, you get
Big
pissed
ass.
off.
Yo,
you
rolling-
start fighting over the music.
I
and
think rolling with
somebody farts in a car.
I think rolling with 3 people is the best number.
It's pretty good.
3-4 people. More than that, then you gotta like get an Uber XL or 2 cars and this and that. It just gets annoying.
Yeah.
I'm like a big keep the group smaller ideally guy.
I've only been camping with 2 other people once. Every other time has been solo.
Wow.
But that was fun.
And you say you've gone camping, what, like 7, 8, 9, 10 times?
Probably 7 times.
7
yeah.
times.
Oh, I did go camping. The first ever time I went camping with one other person. And we went up like 12,000 feet elevation in this mountain. And we had to camp in 20-degree weather. We thought we were going to die. It was bad. Like shivering the whole night. Didn't get any sleep.
Aren't those the craziest scenarios to be in? Like your free will just brought you there and you're just in it.
Yeah. And there were mountain lions there too.
That's sick.
It was that being the first time ever camping made me so resilient to anything.
Facts, bro. Doesn't it feel like it puts like a hard coat around your skin for like at least a year going through something like that?
A year?
was-
I don't think a year, but
Less?
I mean, because it's just camping.
Like you got.
But I mean, it's 20-degree weather, mountain lions. You hear like twigs, like cracking in the background.
I remember there was one time where me and my friend were at a party all the way across Boston, like 5 miles away, and I got in a fight with some kids, so we were pissed, and we decided to walk home in the freezing rain, 5 miles, in like shorts and like a wet hoodie. And when we got to the bridge where he was going right and I was going left, and we both had like a mile to walk to get to our homes, we like hugged each other goodbye because we didn't know if we were going to make it because we were so cold. And I remember laying in bed that night and like my legs were defrosting like frozen turkeys. And for the next year, every time I laid in bed, I was like, this is sex. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. For a whole year, though?
Yes.
Damn.
Because I was that cold and miserable. Or when you're on like an airplane and someone stinks and you're just like,
oh man,
time's going to keep ticking. I'll eventually be back somewhere else in a nice, comfortable space.
No, I remember.
I kind of know what you're saying. The one time I was in Costa Rica. Oh, I guess that's another country I've been to. I was in Costa Rica, and I slept. The Airbnb only had 2 rooms, so I had to sleep in the living room.
Yeah.
On the couch with no blanket. Well, I wouldn't want a blanket because it was 100 degrees every night. The Airbnb didn't have AC, and sleeping like that, in a puddle of sweat every night for a week, coming back to Texas, and sleeping in my nice air-conditioned apartment, fluffy bed.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It was heaven every night, but only for a week. And it was crazy. Every time I jumped in my bed, I would fall asleep like in a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
It just felt so nice in contrast to Costa Rica.
You ever been in a situation where it like stunk so bad, but you can get out of it? Like literally, physically was stinky.
I don't really things smelling bad isn't really a problem for me. I have a really bad nose. I have a bad sense of smell.
So like somebody's like nasty BO would get to you.
I'm trying to think.
Somebody
Yeah, like BO and stuff.
out on the street?
Nah, I remember one time we went to where were we going? I think we were going to Morocco or something.
Oh my God.
We had to get on a plane. It was like me, Sonny, SneezyKane, and it was like a lot of African people, I guess. But it was so stinky, and it was like an hour flight. But like you can't do anything, you can't get off the plane. You can't really close your nose for an hour. But it was like really stinky.
It was so hot and stinky.
Damn.
It was just
that was the worst one.
Yeah, right. A situation like that where it's like,
I'd
yo,
smell something like that.
but like you can't leave, like we couldn't leave. Like, is there a situation you're just like stuck and it's like stinky?
No, never had that.
No.
Fortunately, I've never had that.
Oh.
It's always funny being in the moment of one of those situations, though, where there's just no escaping whatever uncomfortable stuff you're dealing with, and you know that enough time going by, you'll inevitably be out of it.
Yeah, like
Like at 21, like I've made money, gone to zero multiple times, and this and that. I just like, I don't know, I feel like I've had so much experience for a 21-year-old that like no matter what gets thrown my way now, I kind of just like enjoy whatever wave I'm riding, if that makes sense.
Like a journey.
It's just like a journey, yeah. It just feels like I'm riding a wave.
Yeah.
You just take it all in rather than like trying to stress and so much. You just like feel it. You feel that tension, whatever stress you're going through. Really just take it all in. The uncertainty of the future, of what my content and this and that looks like, just all a blessing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've been thinking like that recently too. I think for me, I've just had this 9 to 5 until like 26 years old. Well, obviously I've been doing it for like 5 years, and then taking this entrepreneurial route. Like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be a filmmaker. I'm gonna be a director. I kind of started freaking out. Like I was like, how do I live like this? But I think when you do have that sense of purpose, like you start thinking life like a journey. Like it's kind of like, you kind of just have to figure things out. It's nicer. It's stressful, but it's nicer than just like having to have something on a plate every single day and like this is what it is.
Yeah, but free will as an entrepreneur is one of the craziest things to wrap your head around.
I think it makes you more spiritual.
100%. But the fact that like you wake up when you want and everything you do is just determined by you. Like right now, our free will is like, let's film a pod. Let's set the things up.
Yeah.
We could be watching a movie right now.
But no, for sure.
We could be chain smoking darts on the balcony. We could go into the city and go anywhere.
Yeah. You're
Especially
really
being in New York, it messes with me, you know? I just bought a bike recently. I was like, I should start going on bike rides.
Yeah. I think like when you're not in it, you kind of dream of it. And then when you're in it, you totally forget about the before.
Yeah, do you ever remember what it was like before free will? Like before true free will?
Like,
Well, I don't
go to
really
school.
believe in free will,
What do you mean?
but that's a whole rabbit hole.
Wait. Explain just a little bit of that though. Like, what do you mean? Like,
It's hard to explain. And I
like
don't
you
know
getting
if I
up to
can-
go to, like, let's say you get up and you're like, I'm gonna go to like Puerto Rico.
Like, I think you have some free will to an extent, but I think most of it is an illusion. Like, I believe that, I don't know, I believe in a lot of what Buddhism says.
what do they say? I don't know. I'm not familiar.
It's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain, but like if a spider crawls up your arm right now and you look at it and you flinch back in fear, that flinching back wasn't you deciding that. That was like a chemical reaction in your brain.
Oh, I think there's a mix between chemical and free will.
Or even like,
But I don't think you're purely either. I don't think you're purely free will, and I don't think you're purely chemical.
like even if you're standing in line behind a cop and you see his gun on his holster and you think like, damn, I could really like
Grab
pull
that.
that gun out and shoot him in the head.
thought of that many times.
But like you're not gonna do it. Of course you're not gonna do it. So like if you have free will, you can decide to do that, but you're never gonna do it. You know? Like you're always gonna choose the best possible option in every situation. Even if that's as simple as, oh, let me go walk outside and grab some coffee before working. Like of course you're going to choose to do that. You know?
I get what you're saying, but I still think it's a mix at the end of the day. Like if you don't, you know,
There is a guy who would pull that gun.
if you don't like nut for like a week or something, then you're like your brain starts thinking a bit differently, and you make different decisions. But it's not just because of that. Like it's still tied in with your free will. Do you get what I'm saying? Like those chemicals can influence what you do. But I also think a lot of your thoughts and your actions actually stem from the heart. The Quran talks about that a lot. How it's not all just pure logic and what's in your brain. It actually comes from your intentions. Like for example, if you on the day of judgment, if you did a bunch of good, but your intentions weren't there, it doesn't count. So there's so many layers to this. It's not as simple as just neurons firing in your brain, like code that dictates your thoughts. Like, do you really think whatever thoughts, sentences are going through your head right now is just like A, B, C, B, B, C, C, like neurons or some shit?
To an extent, I think it's at such a large scale to where it can't be decoded. But even just like, you know, when you're inspired or you have that random idea that pops into your head, like I don't believe that that's me. I think that that's coming from somewhere. Like whenever I get like an instant surge of inspiration, I know that's not me. Like I think it's easy for the artist to believe that what he's making is him.
That's why you say Alhamdulillah.
I think.
What does that mean?
I get.
All glory to the Most High.
I was thinking about that recently too. I was like, how much of it, like, it's just like a simulation? Like, am I just like a simulation? But I think there is a free will in deciding that for yourself. Like, some people will be like, oh, this is just like a simulation or whatever. You can live in that headspace. But some people will be like, no, then like, what is having a soul? What is like, you know, having your own thoughts? How do you be decisive about anything, you know? So I think there's free will in thinking how you think as well. Like, I think people who think they're in a simulation or that it's not them will live in that reality. Versus people who are like, no, I control everything. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I think it's like, you shape your reality. You could think like that, and that will be your reality.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you set up your environment right, like again, that's what I think flow state is. If you treat your body right that day, if you eat steak and eggs and black coffee with the intention of making your body feel as great as it can be, and you sit down and you tell God, hey, I'm here to work. I want the next 3 hours. I want you to use me as a vessel for the next 3 hours to write as many words on this paper as possible. Then he'll grant you with that beam of inspiration.
Right.
And that beam of inspiration is not you. It's like your brain picking up on this certain like field of something.
I could agree with that.
Like
a little
every
bit.
artist always says that, like whenever they enter a flow state, like they're channeling into something that's not them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of
And
agree
it
with
feels
that.
that way. Every time it feels that way.
No, I totally agree with that.
Hmm.
Like a source. Like, you know, I mean, for myself, like when I do make stuff, I do, you know, talk to God or something, or like throughout the day, there'll be part where like, oh, you know, God, please help me with this, or, you know, give me inspiration, or give me a productive day or something. So there's like a source that I'm trying to tap into.
Yeah, every time I've worked the fastest on like some of my biggest projects, I always get it done so fast, and like I know it's not me working. It's like I'm working with instruction.
Code.
Hmm.
So do you think we're living in a simulation? Or like for yourself, do you view yourself like, oh, I'm in a simulation?
Yeah, but again, I think questioning that too much can lead to madness.
Yeah, that's
So
what I thought too.
That's the agnostic in me, where I just kind of say, we'll never know. You know, until we die, we'll never know. So what's the point of thinking about it?
Mm-hmm.
But I always bounce around
It's human nature.
because
to
sometimes
bounce
it's cool to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what I like about Islam is that like, no matter what, you can't deny that there is a creator. When that's the only thing you pray to, that just makes the most sense, does it not?
Yeah, that's what I like about Islam.
Yeah, I like that too. And what I like about it, or more recently, because I was having that thought about like the simulation stuff a lot, and I just realized like at least having that belief in God like that gives you ownership of your own life. Like you feel like you're in control. You know what I mean? I could live in that reality where everything's just like a simulation and just like, and a lot of people do, but I feel like it just leads you to a more, because you just like, so what's the point? You know what I mean? Like I'm just like living in this simulation. Like what's the point of even trying this or doing that? So I just like, nah, it's way too doomer. So I like that, you know, it gives you being like, oh, I pray to God and God gives me this or this and that and I have to do this. Like it gives you more ownership or control and you feel like you have free will, you know. It's like debatable whether we do or don't, you know, but you definitely feel like you have free will.
You know what's an interesting mindset shift I've had by accepting Islam is when I pray for something, I only pray for it if it's good for me in the afterlife.
Like
I ask God, I'm like, if this is good for me for the next life and this one, please give it to me, and if it's not, take it away. I don't just ask for something because I want it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in Islam, God knows the possibilities of what could have happened, the hypotheticals. Like if you left a minute earlier and you would have gotten a car crash, but God stopped that. He has all that knowledge. It's like, who knows how many scenarios there are like that.
free will is a crazy thing because like there's also predeterminism, you know.
Yeah.
Islam believes in free will and predeterminism, so it's like.
But I feel like that just makes the most sense, though.
No, I think it makes sense to me too, but it's just kind of crazy to think about because like some people might have the perspective like, you know what, like you have a day of judgment and stuff, but you had free will, like you could have done this thing, but you didn't, you know. But then there's also predeterminism where you just kind of like you're meant to do this thing, kind of. You get what I'm saying?
What makes the most sense about predeterminism to me is the fact that God is outside of time. So when people say, like, God already knows if you're going to heaven or hell, it's like, yeah, because God isn't in the constraints of time that we see. Time is a creation by God in the way we perceive time. Like, if time was a line like this, God's outside of that. He's not constricted by his own creation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally.
What's wild is the real reason we're even living this life out is so that on the day of judgment, you'll be able to look back at your book of deeds, your life, and be like, oh yeah, this is why I'm going where I go.
You get game stats.
You get your game stats.
Yeah, the game stats, leaderboards.
27 KD.
How many girls actually loved you? 0. Damn.
Why's it gotta be 0?
Average time lasted 7 seconds.
Bro.
Yes. You're just scratching your head the whole time, looking at all the stats. Fuck, I thought I did better than that. Could have sworn. Fuck. These aren't public, right?
Can I hide this from the leaderboard?
Best play, recap.
Like a kill cam shot.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way that this life is just this. I have no doubt in my head that there's something after.
So you believe
we
in
die.
reincarnation?
No. No, I don't. I don't believe in reincarnation, but because that's insinuating that you come back as just another human being over and over again.
Yeah.
But humans, everything comes to an end, bro. Everything comes to an end. Human civilization will come to an end eventually. There won't be humans anymore.
Yeah, I believe that.
At some point in time. The earth won't be a thing at some point in time. The sun won't be a thing eventually. So,
Yeah, I don't know. Me personally, whether you're religious or not, I'm just like, maybe it has to do with creating yourself. Like when you're trying to create your own universe, or you're trying to create some world, you know, artistically, whether it's a book or a movie or something, you kind of get an appreciation for like how to create that. So then now I'm like, dude, like even the art that we make or whatever, these books, just being in this room, the technology, the time it comes in, the periods, the eras, having to deal with all of that, the different cultures, everything, like it was created. So I kind of have an appreciation for that. You know?
imagine trying to explain an iPhone to someone born in the 1800s. You literally couldn't. You couldn't physically do it. Because everything they did, they had to crank something, and then this chain of event led to this chain of event. To explain Wi-Fi to someone, I feel like that's how it is with the afterlife.
There's always something bigger you can't perceive, even in a worldly sense. Like, you know, technologically, there's stuff that we're not going to that we can't perceive right now. That's
We're
gonna
told
exist.
you can't fully perceive heaven, by the way. Like you can't really imagine it. It's better than anything you could imagine in this world. Yo, how crazy is it that Kamala Harris went on Call Her Daddy? Like, we actually had a presidential candidate go on the biggest hoe podcast in the world.
Isn't it like LPR? Like, did no one tell her, like, hey, this is, like, maybe not a good idea? Like, who was like, hey, this is the move? Like,
And it flopped. It didn't even get a lot of views. It's like,
don't you think someone would be in her ear, like, hey, like, this isn't the move?
Well, it was the move, because women voted on abortion rights. And she's got, she has an HBO show now. Have you
The
seen
Call Her
that?
Daddy girl?
Yeah, it's like Call Her Alex or something.
Hulu.
I saw her just do a clip on stage somewhere, and she's like, I got my first STD in this city. I got cream pie in this city.
Jesus.
And all the girls are clapping and screaming. And you suckers watching this are going to marry some of them.
I remember I was talking to this girl one time that used to listen to the Call Her Daddy podcast religiously. She even had a Call Her Daddy sign or a flag in her dorm. This was a long time ago.
Brother, that's recreational use.
And I remember one time she texted me at like 4 a.m. said, hey. And, you know, as a guy, immediately you're like, I know what this means. I got to get ready. And then she never responded for the rest of the night.
Huh.
And then I remember thinking like, damn, she got me worked up at 4 a.m. just by saying, hey. And I think that's maybe like something on the Call Her Daddy podcast where they maybe tell the listeners, hey, you want to fuck with your guy? Just send him hey at 4 a.m. and go to sleep.
Yo.
I'm like, I bet that's something that they tell them to do on the podcast.
Probably.
No, you're probably onto something there.
I was up for 2 more hours just waiting.
It's like, baby.
Hey, what? Hey. You know? She didn't say anything the next day.
I've been there.
Oh, I fell asleep.
I don't remember what she said the next day, but I knew she did that
She
on
was
purpose.
fucking with you.
I knew she did that on purpose.
100%.
I would never see that chick again. Man, I love Islam, bro. Like, I'm none of this stuff anymore. Oh, I'm really love it. I can't stand dealing with those women.
The dynamics between men and women interest me so much. It's like men and women like fight each other. It's like when you're in a relationship with a girl, it's like war. And it's the only type of love that's exclusive.
Anyways.
No, that's possible.
That's stupid, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, this whole thing of, like, well, I gave him consent to kiss me everywhere, but then this thing happened, and this... It's just like...
You're tweaking, bro.
Dude, but what makes so much sense is like you get married and then it's like, okay, like that's your partner. Like you're consenting to everything that's halal. That just is what makes the most sense to me. I think like the
What do you think,
American
Saqeb?
dating.
What's your thoughts on
I just
this?
think the American dating stuff is so weird. There's so many imaginary lines that people draw.
I think a boyfriend can rape his girlfriend. I think that's very possible.
We were taught in school. Well, yeah, if they never had sex before.
No, I mean even if they, I mean, there's ways. I mean,
I don't know. We were taught in school that if a girl was slightly drunk, then she can't consent. So you're technically raping her.
yeah, I think it's good to steer clear of any.
I believe in objective morality from the creator of the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, I mean, if you're intoxicated, things get very slippery. You know, as a guy, you'll get blamed for so many things. So me personally, I steer clear of any intoxication.
Oof, no, I would never. Alcohol's from the devil.
Yeah.
That foosball's from the devil. I'll tell you. Alcohol is very demonic. I wish that everyone as a society would come together and just be like,
It's
you know
weird
what?
that it's too late though.
Yeah.
Like you can't ban alcohol anymore. Like they did it one time in the 20s, right?
Yeah.
But now if you do it, there will be riots. Like it's just it's weird that it's too late to ban alcohol.
So many problems come from it, though.
Yeah. Alcohol
sure.
causes so much violence, but everybody ignores those statistics.
I don't miss alcohol at all, honestly. That's one thing I really.
That's very impressive.
I never
That's very
crave it.
impressive. Yeah, because I mean, me, I've never had one sip of alcohol, and it's all because I feel like I won't be able to control myself.
That's what it
once
is,
I
yeah.
know how good it is. But the fact that you were able to drop it so easily, like that's impressive. I think alcohol is one of the most addictive drugs.
Alcoholism.
Just from my experience, like
A lot of
observing the world. you know?
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, a lot of nightlife is it's so boring and so trash that to enjoy it, you have to make yourself retarded, and you do that via drinking. And a lot of people are convinced that, like, they can't be social or have fun if they're not drinking and stuff. And it's just so socially accepted to drink, like, this poison funky juice that makes you do deadly sins.
Yeah, I know a bottle of tequila will get you very horny. I know that. You take a couple sips and you're like, I need to hump something now.
Yo, hey, yo. Why you looking at me?
I don't know.
I don't know what it's like, but I just hear people say that.
Yeah.
I mean, wine
damn.
is more so the aphrodisiac that makes you like that, but...
And I can feel it too. Whenever I'm at a party or something and these girls start sipping that wine, it's just like...
Bro, drunk women make me want to vomit. They're the worst. Just got that stupid look in their eyes. Nothing going on upstairs.
You gotta be a little nice. No, just funny. No, I know what you mean. They got those
Bro,
eyes.
drunk women, and women also, they don't take any accountability, which is what's annoying. Like, I've been out with women that get drunk, and then they just start, like, yelling at everyone and almost get the guys they're with into fights because they're being dumb broads. I can't stand that.
I think that happens when people are sober too. Women always find a way to get you into fights sometimes. You know that Key and Peele skit where the girlfriend, like, I forget exactly how it goes, but he's like trying to get into a club and the girlfriend's like trying to argue, but the girlfriend has no repercussions, but the boyfriend's nervous, like, no,
Yeah.
stop talking to them. You're gonna make me have to
Yeah.
fight them. I remember my ex-girlfriend did that once. We were at a comedy show and the couple sitting behind us was like really loud. And my ex turned around and was like, can you guys be quiet? And I'm just like tense because the guy who's sitting behind us is huge. I'm like, please don't get me in a fight right now.
Today, not with him.
You see how gigantic that guy is? You're gonna get me jumped.
I can't believe you dated a girl that listened to Call Her Daddy. Or
No, that wasn't her. That was another girl.
still.
But yeah.
That's one of the biggest red flags there is. Because you know she's gonna try some stupid shit she heard in a
But
podcast
you know what?
on you.
They could say the exact same thing about us listening to Andrew Tate. Like, Andrew Tate for us, in their perspective, is our caller daddy.
I don't think so.
Well, I agree with the idea that
it's-
that's how they see it.
Yeah, that's how they see it. That's how they see it.
I definitely think that's a false comparison.
And that's
though.
how we see their...
Because call her daddy doesn't push you to be more in your feminine element.
No. Yeah. I see
Andrew
that.
Tate pushes you to embrace your
I
masculine.
can agree with that too.
Yeah.
So if you embrace your masculine, then you naturally attract a girl in her feminine. I feel like dating is very simple.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
If
I
you're-
can see how caller daddy is more pushing to merge the
Masculinity
two.
for women.
To merge the two, masculine and feminine, into one.
Yeah.
Which goes against the laws of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're a 9 out of 10 in your masculinity, you're naturally going to attract a woman that's a 9 out of 10 in her femininity. A lot of dudes just don't understand what being in your masculinity is. They think that just getting muscles is becoming masculine when it's much deeper than that. It's understanding how to problem solve, how to take accountability, how to lead when things are stressful.
Yeah.
There's many elements that go into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like the yin and the yang. You need opposite forces in order to
And so,
create.
obviously, I believe a healthy dynamic, women should submit to their husband, but I think that women only should submit to a husband that's worthy of submitting to. And the thing is, now, a lot of guys simply aren't worthy of that. They can't financially provide in a relationship, they can't problem solve, they're lazy. And then the girl has to adopt some of that masculine.
Yeah.
So when the girl adopts some of that masculine, she's out of her natural element, so then she's unhappy, she bitches and moans at the guy, complaining all the time. And then
you need opposite forces to create, just like how hot winds and cold winds come together to create a hurricane, or how you need to add two different colors to create a new color, like red and blue create purple, if that's true. Or same thing with, you need a man and a woman to come together to create a child. Like, you need two opposite forces in order to manifest, in order to create a third.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what the Big Bang was. Well, maybe not. Whatever created the universe, I think if there's just one thing in the world, everything is black, there's nothingness or whatever. But as soon as there's a second thing that comes into the frame, that's what allows creation. I don't know.
I see what you're saying, like a yin yang.
Doesn't
The
God
chaos
say in the
and order.
Quran, I created everything in pairs?
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Very, I think that's a good ambiguous note to end it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, better than some of the...
You give 𝐡𝐞𝐫𝐞 5 stars? 5 stars rating here?
10 stars, bro.
10?
If
Jeez.
that's possible.
I'm gonna give it a 10 too, man.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna give it a 10 because of the towels.
The towels.
The towels, bro.
It's a nice crib, bro.
Yeah, bro. Thank you again for the hospitality,
Yes,
man.
much appreciated, bro.
For the audience, this is the day that I had. I mean, I'm still in New York for a few days, but just
Heading out
It's
today.
been fun
now.
having Steezy crash here, bro.
Projects to do, people to see, but it's been nice. Yeah, I've been like just working for like a month by myself, so like coming here and like seeing you guys has been nice, and just kicking it, sitting on the balcony, chatting it up,
yeah. It's
getting out of
been
your
real
own
nice.
head. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because we didn't really have much time to hang in Toronto.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hung out with CZ for 1 hour or 1.5 hours in Toronto, and then we've been here, all of us. S team.
S team. We just realized all our names start with NS.
S.
Yeah.
Even Sneeko.
SSSSS.
Yeah, that's a weird
Nice.
coincidence.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching the pod. Let me know what you guys think in the comments if you want us to do more stuff like this. Just sitting down, raw yaps, what kind of stuff you like from the channel. Curious, I like your input. I'm thinking of streaming more. I don't know. And if you're interested in becoming a TikTok shop creator, working directly with me, links at the top of the description. Have a little quiz there for you to apply. Steezy did some of the course. He messed with it. That was good
Steezy.
stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Later, guys.
Peace.
Peace.